Hey folks, I'm currently not affiliated with any religion. I I definitely believe in the spirituality of God, but and I pray as well. I pray every day or every night rather. I don't say grace, but I pray every night before I go to sleep. I simply believe that we cannot rationalize about who God is, and in order for us to maintain a connection with Him, we have to strengthen our spirit. Because if we strengthen our spirit, we can strengthen the relationship that we have with God. And there's been multiple occasions where I have thought about simply creating my own religion, but then I feel like I would be hypocritical by saying that I'm not part of religion to begin with. I'm currently writing a story, and in the story are guidelines on how I think my religion should be. I do believe that there are such things as such people as spiritual advisors, and I do believe in God as a spirit. And in order for us to increase our spirit, there are certain things that we can do, such as there are things that we can do that enable us to increase our spirit. And this is one of the things I would like to focus on my research on in psychology. It's human spirituality, and how can we maintain it, and how can we strengthen or enable our spirits to grow. And currently, I've researched such topics as human sexuality, and how human sexuality can strengthen our spirit. Now, I'm not talking about the sense of pleasure. I'm talking about the sense of being in a loving relationship. And this idea came to my head when I was climbing a rock at Gardner State Park. Did I say rock? I meant mountain. I don't know if it's like it's 2:37 a.m. and I'm kind of going on a roll here. It came to me when I was climbing a mountain, and it wasn't until I was at the top of the mountain that I realized I had gained a sense of spirituality, like I felt spiritual. And it's very difficult to describe this sense. It was not elation, it was not happiness, it was a sense of feeling. And I felt that my spirit was enhanced, is as best as I can describe it. And because of this, I feel like my spirit strengthened. That is one way I believe that we can strengthen our spirit. Not by necessarily climbing a mountain or going through an obstacle and enjoying the consequence of achieving that obstacle, but I believe it's such things as enjoying nature, simply observing it. Meditation is, of course, in my opinion, another way we can strengthen our spirit. And I also believe that being in loving relationships with other people can also strengthen our relationship. And there's fields to talk about this. When I was in the military, I purchased a book at Barnes and Noble. So it was called Measuring the Immeasurable. And it was a book about spirituality, like how can we shift the trend from a cognitive perspective in psychology to us being able to operationalize our spirituality. And there's a history. Right now, I'm taking courses in history of psychology, and the trend went from a behaviorist to a cognitive approach. And I do believe the next trend will regard a spiritual sphere. When last semester I was doing my practicum, and I was able to witness a one-on-one counseling. And of course, beforehand, I should mention that one of my jobs in the military was also doing one-on-one counseling from enlisted soldier to enlisted soldier. But anyway, going back to what I was mentioning, in my practicum, I was able to view the one-on-one discussions the therapist had with the client, and a lot of what the clients had mentioned were cases regarding spirituality. And of course, some may argue that there's a cultural influence to that rather than a spiritual influence, and I disagree with that. I think that we need to desynthesize that spiritual sphere away from the other spheres of influences. For those of you that don't know, there's three spheres. There's biological, there's social cultural, and there's also psychological. But I'm advocating for a fourth sphere, which is the spiritual sphere, because I believe that's also a sphere of influence. So now you guys understand why I'm at a fork in the road between a clinical psychology versus a experimental psychology. And of course, I can do both, but the difficult part would be finding the time to do these experimental researches along with helping others in the military.